Hello everyone. The stuff that I ordered as a part of my review didn't end up getting here on time. So I decided to give you an update since we're halfway through July about my One Book July situation as well as some shop updates. So many of you know that I introduced a fantasy collection to my shop, and the two colors I introduced are Butterbeer and Arc Wine. Arc Wine is a very shiny kind of burgundy. There's a lot of natural variation in the leather, and this is true for the entire fantasy collection. They're all kind of like the same base leather, but with different colors, and then later down the line I hope to introduce different kind of like treatment, finish, and whatnot. And this is the Butterbeer after I had tanned it for one afternoon. I live in Minnesota, so there's not much sun for me to work with usually, so summertime is very, very, very crucial for me. So these are the two leathers that I have officially announced, but I am testing with these two new colors. They are again the same leather as this, and this brownish color, I call it Dryad, a tree fairy kind of situation. I think is really fitting. This really shiny black one is Raven. So one difference between these leathers is if I take the pens out and I abuse the leather a little bit, you can see that there's some pull up on almost, I don't know if you can actually see that, but almost all of the other colors, but not on Raven. Raven is just black and shiny. And so Dryad and Raven are not currently released since I'm still kind of testing them out, and that's why I made this folio for myself. And so the way I have this set up, it's actually quite interesting, is I have my one pocket that's kind of like a faux secretarial pocket, so I can easily grab things from kind of this direction. And then I have this pocket that has the top part stitched, but also I guess kind of like in the secretarial pocket shape. And I didn't close up the bottom, so if I need to reach something that's a little bigger, I can kind of easily like loosen this up a little bit to reach it, which is actually really helpful. And this is where I'm storing a lot of my kind of cloth and paper, just really simplistic little stickers for like bullet points and whatnot in my actual planner. And like you see, I can kind of loosen up this part a little bit to make it going a little bit easier, since this paper is a little grippy. And let me just put this back. These are stickers I made of my shop logo that I use for planning. Pretty interesting. And then we open it. This is kind of, so this part is a very normal kind of slip pocket, like a folio pocket, where I have my stickers and ephemeras and stuff. But this is what I did to it. So I wanted kind of like a dashboard scenario, and what I did is I cut out a little slit here so that I can use a paper clip, or let me grab this real quick, or an ollie clip to kind of just tuck this in like that to hold this kind of stuff. It's just nice to be able to flip open and see something like an inspirational quote. And yeah, it's my way to add some kind of personalization to this. And before I go into the Stalogy itself, let me show you what the back looks like. So I have stitched on 3 card pockets. One of them holds the May freebie from Cloth and Paper and the cashmere page flags. The ones that I currently am using are not the cashmere. I know it's misleading. And the bottom Folio slip pocket is Dryad, and I used Raven as the kind of like the card pocket area. And the stitching color I used is light brown. I think this light brown tan color works really well with both leathers, and that's why I did it. Here I have a Caribou gift card for tearing off washi tapes mostly. And here in this bottom pocket I have these awesome The Coffee Monsters Co. Washi tape samples that Simone sent to me in snail mail, because I mentioned once to her that I really want to try some of the older Coffee Monsters Co. washi tapes, and she's just a really awesome person, and she posts a lot more YouTube videos than I do, so make sure you check out her channel down in the description. And then finally I have a little pen loop made of Dryad, and this is basically just like, you can fold it in if you're not using it, but I generally like keeping a pen with it, and it just kind of slips in super easily. And now let's talk about the leather. You can probably tell, actually this is a horrible example because I shaved off the edge a little bit, but here you can kind of tell how thick this leather is. And if I were to measure it for you, it is about a little over 2 millimeters thick. And the Dryad and the Raven I'm currently testing is a lot thinner. It's super duper thin, and that's what I mean by I'm testing it, because I don't know how much I would really enjoy this thickness. And yeah, so this is under 2 millimeters. I'm still kind of playing around with it. It still has a decent amount of structure, but because of how thin it is, it doesn't hold its shape as well as something like this would. But the plus side is, even though I have so many pockets, it doesn't add much weight, almost at all. And so let's look at my setup. I put a sheet of vellum over my holographic, now not that you can see, vinyls, because I don't want to scratch it up. And so basically I just made these. They're hollow, my Cricut, and has my name, the year, and the top part of my shop, because I didn't want to have words here. I really like how these turned out. It's too bad that I get overly protective of these. I'm hoping that I can get my hands on some clear vinyl covers, but who knows? I might just fall in love with this. I'm joking, I probably won't. my daily dashboard, a lot of the setup is basically the same as what you have seen before in my previous video. I will link that down below as well. I added this kind of front page and said stay calm, ochitsuke. It's the Hobonichi quote of the year basically, and yeah, so there's that. And here are my references for my weekly setup. Just little kind of highlights of the things I should do in July. My monthly, these are basically the same. I used a lot, and I mean a lot, of the Coffee Monsters Co. stickers, and the way I have it set up is basically I will have a kind of weekly column with my personal, work, home related tasks, and I'll try to distribute all of them throughout the week as I go, and also obviously add whatever is coming up as I go also in my daily spread or weekly or whatever you call it. The second week I tried a more horizontal layout, but the basic idea is the same. I have my 3 columns for this week, and I just kind of distribute everything here. And you can see here as an example, I had a call with my advisor, and then I have notes from the call, and I noted that it's in the back of notes section. And if you look at my tabs up here, I have the notes tab, and the back of my notes section would be here. So that's kind of how I do it. And then for this current week, I moved back to the 3 column setup, except for I moved the this week thing to the front. So again, the same concept. And I already set up the next week as well. I wanted to try the Coffee Monsters Co. free printables. So these are the ones that Helen made for the B6 size, and I basically just printed them on sticker paper and then pasted them down here. I wanted to try. Supposedly these are 1.5-inch columns, so I can try to use some stickers that will actually fit the columns a little bit better. And this week again is what I'm planning on doing, and that will correspond to this previous week. The second this week will correspond to the later week. I cut it off at Friday because August starts on a Saturday, so I still haven't set this up yet. Just trying to get through July really, and this is kind of how I have it set up. And the reason why this is kind of like a one book July thing for me is because I have all of these other sections. My notes section about the giveaways I was holding, YouTube stuff, my planning, and my sales stuff, different lists of things I want to do around the house. And then for the miscellaneous, I have some swatches from my very, very limited cloth and paper swatches, as well as my just kind of pen testing pages. I still haven't used these so much. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, so far I really like this setup. I am not, so you did see that I used a lot of stickers and whatnot in my setup, just to show you what my notebooks usually look like. This is my Mo term and my kind of financial planner-ish thing, Hobonichi weeks. This is what this looks like. I don't usually use stickers at all, but at a time like this, I feel like decorating things is kind of therapeutic in a way, and that's why I decided to go with it. It's a little bulky to my liking. Last year and the year before, I was using a Hobonichi Weeks as my planner, so you can kind of imagine. And before this, if you saw my previous videos, I was in a pocket rings. It's a pretty big change. Right now I just moved all of my pocket rings, insert in the Louis Vuitton small agenda, basically for now, since I'm not currently using them, but I might switch back into it, I'm guessing one day. I'm not sure. But what I'm trying to say is this is really bulky. I don't usually use something this big. I don't usually use this many stickers. I don't usually carry or kind of set up this many ephemera options. It works right now because I kind of need that pop of cuteness in my life, and I'm not going anywhere. So it's not like I'm carrying around. It just sits here, and the bulk doesn't really bother me as much if I don't have to carry it in my purse. So this is my One Book July update. So far, I really like this. I really like the Stalogy B6. I feel like it's a great thing to try for a stay-at-home kind of like time like this. So let me know how your one book July has been going, and what you think of my setup, and what you think of Dryad and Raven. And I will see you in my next video. Hopefully by then I will have the supplies that I ordered that got delayed in transit that I wanted to show you in the review. But anyways, have a good day.